Hello and welcome to Homes for Numbers YouTube channel. My name is Claire and I am your yoga instructor. Let's come to make our way onto our mats and come to find any comfortable seated position. As always, please only do today what feels right for your body. And know that I will offer you lots of modifications throughout the practice. So let's take our tall spine, connect our palms down onto our legs. Close down the eyes if that's comfortable. And let's together take a nice full breath in. Exhale out of the mouth on this, your first one. To close down the mouth. Come to move into your nostril breath. So settling down into the body. And bringing your attention to yourself breathing. Being aware of your breath as it enters the nostrils, as it moves down the back of the throat and into the lungs. And noticing the reverse journey of that breath as lungs collapse, air pushes back through the nostrils and releases. So inhaling into the body. Feel your rib cage expand, your belly expand, and then exhale, we get the compression and the air comes back up and out of the nose. And as you observe the breath, notice how it starts to quieten and lengthen for you. And notice how much better you feel just by doing nothing other than sitting very still with this lovely tall posture, just doing nothing other than sitting and breathing. I know you can do this at any point of your day. You don't need to come to a yoga mat. You could sit in your chair at your desk or in front of the TV and turn that TV down and close the eyes and sit tall and breathe. That is with you. That tool is with you whenever you wish to tune into it. This ability to switch off and to switch in. Let's take another breath here. And softly open the eyes and let's start to find movement into the body. Interlace your fingers and push your palms to the sky. Deep breath in and out. Really reach your palms to the sky here. Get as long as you can. You'll feel the stretch through your chest. You'll feel the stretch through your side body. Spine feels super long. And it might feel nice just to naturally take this little sway from side to side. And then release that and bring your arms into this cactus shape, so bent at the elbows. Take a deep breath in, draw your arms back, lift your chest up. And then on your exhale, round your spine and bring your elbows towards each other. And it's okay if they don't quite meet. If it feels awkward or too strong for them to meet, it's okay. Just bring them towards each other. Yeah, and I round the spine. I inhale, open chest up. I exhale, tuck chin to chest, round the spine and bring my elbows to meet. I'll show you that from the side. Inhale, I get this expansion and extension through the spine. Exhale, tuck and round. Again, deep breath in. We open through the front of the chest, through the front of the arms and shoulders. Exhale, tuck and round. Let's go one more. Deep breath in, open. Such a lovely move for the spine. Deep breath out. Again, something you could do in your chair at home. And then let's take our arm stretch of right arm over left. Bend the elbows and bring the right palm to touch the left fingers. This is called eagle arms, and it's okay if you can't make that palm to finger bind. You could just take the right arm across and pause here. Otherwise, if you're in the shape ever so slightly, lift up your elbows. Feel the stretch right behind your shoulder blades. And just have a moment to check in. What tends to happen once we move into the physical body is we forget to keep working on this very full breath. And it's natural that we forget because we don't have to focus on breathing. We just automatically breathe. It's our automatic response is to breathe. But we're just trying to keep our attention to make it more of a conscious breath, more of a breath that you're aware of, more of a breath that you're trying to get a little deeper. Let's move to the second side. So left arm on top, bend your elbows. And then perhaps that left arm once again sweeps round, takes the bind, and then lift and brighten through the chest. Shoulders melt down the back. Heart lifts. And then let's gently release and come to a cross-legged position. Let's leave arms, chest, shoulders alone and come into a lovely, gentle hip stretch. To connect into our outer legs, cross-legged position, right foot on, right leg in front of left. Deep breath in and deep breath out, just melt forwards. And particularly the body will appreciate this fuller breath in poses where you are particularly tight. And that could be hips for you, that could be shoulders, it could be arms, it could be hamstrings. But when you touch a stretch that feels stiff, you feel naturally you want to hold the breath because it hurts. But try to do the opposite. Try to fuel your body even more with breath on the tighter, in the tighter spots. So reaching forwards in that lovely cross-legged, should feel lovely. You get this lovely stretch into your outer bottom and hips, and you also get a nice stretch down the spine. It's definitely one of my favorite poses, and a pose you can do again whenever, morning, evening. You don't have to come to your yoga mat to do this. You could just sit onto the floor, even if you wanted whilst watching TV, to just sit forwards and breathe. Let's slowly ease up and change that left leg in front. Deep breath in, lengthen the spine, and deep breath out, melt forwards. Maybe you melt forwards a lot, maybe it's only a small amount. So working very much with your body, never causing yourself pain. Stretch, yes, pain, no. Relaxing into the body, relaxing into the breath. Should feel nice just to move into this opening. And then slowly come on up and extend for a moment, both legs out in front of you. Give the knees a chance to breathe and open, post that cross-legged stretch. And then with your left leg, some of you might need to sit on a cushion or blanket just to lift your hips forwards, particularly for this one. Pick up your left ankle and see if you can place it on top of your right thigh. My guidance is to take a little bit of the weight of that leg in your right arm. So to a degree, I'm lifting it slightly, just so there's not too much pressure into the right thigh. And then once again, fold forwards. And so you have part hip stretch, Yeah, this is very similar to the cross-legged pose we've just done, but also part hamstring stretch now that you have this right leg extended. And if for any reason this doesn't feel nice for you, instead you could just bring the knee on top of the knee. It's a little easier for the hip, although it's a little stronger for the hamstring. Have a feel. And you know, you can always go back to cross-legged pose and take that hip stretch. So all the time in yoga, we're just becoming familiar with the body. We're becoming familiar with what our body can do, what our body can't do, and always treating it with lots of respect and lots of breath. Let's take another inhale and exhale. And then lift up and have a feel for that pose on the second side. It's often different on a different side. So I pick up the right leg and I bring my ankle and just rest it on the thigh. I keep this top foot very flexed. And then once again, little fold forward. And the knee might be quite high. That's okay. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then let's release and just transition onto all fours. Let's move into our lovely cat-cow just for a few breaths. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees roughly underneath hips. Take an inhale, similar to our cactus pose that we were doing earlier. It's the same movement with the spine. So we inhale, chest opens. Exhale, tuck chin to chest and round. Again, deep breath in, draw the shoulder blades down the back. And take a deep breath out, tuck round. Again, deep breath in, we open. Deep breath out, tuck round. Again, deep breath in, we open. And deep breath out, we tuck and round. From here, walk your hands a little further forwards to enable you to have the space to bring the weight of your hips to the floor. Lengthen your legs out behind you and sweep your arms back. Bring forehead to the floor for a moment. Let's come into the lovely locust. Inhale, just a little lift of upper body and legs here, and exhale, release. Again, inhale, lift up, really squeeze those shoulders back and exhale. So you're warming up into the back. You're also finding a little bit of strength into the back. Shoulders reach back. Let's take just one more. So an inhale to rise and an exhale, release hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift up into cobra and transition up and back, downward facing dog. And with it being your first downward dog, as always, we take that moment to bend and straighten into each leg. And we make sure the neck is very long. And hands shoulder distance, wrist creases point forwards. Little pedal, little pedal. And then move your feet hip distance apart. Soften the knees so that you can lengthen the spine, melting your chest back towards your thighs here. And top of the thighs root back in space so that you're trying to take some of the weight away from your shoulders and into your back body. That's the aim. And then let's slowly bend your knees. Walk those hands back, 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 back into your forward fold. Let it go. Little sway side to side. Once again, maybe it feels nice to pedal and bend into each knee. Know that you don't have to have hands to the floor. You could have hands to the waist. You could have hands to the shins. And then let's slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. And roll back. Let's come to stand to the top of the mat. And let's bring our feet hip distance apart. Let's take a couple of side bends to warm up. So lifting up through that right arm. Take a deep breath in. And exhale to the side. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, sweep. Again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Feeling that great big side stretch here. Come back to center. Second side. Left arm lifts. Exhale, sweep over to the right. Again, inhale and come back to neutral and get long through your spine. And exhale. Final one, deep breath in. And deep breath out. To release, come to make your way with hands to the heart to the top of your mat here. And let's start to warm up and flow into our classical sun salute. Take a deep breath in, circle the arms and lift the chest. Take a deep breath out as if you're diving into water. Fold all the way over to your legs. If you don't touch the floor, that's okay. You can bring hands to the shins. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Keep that back knee lifted, but it's nice and strong through that back thigh. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take one more inhale. Step back into downward facing dog. It's your exhale. Take another moment or so here to find your foundation and your alignment. And then when you're ready, pull in through the belly. Inhale, ripple forwards into plank and gently bring your knees, your chest, your chin to the floor. Take a lengthen forwards. So inhale, heart lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, you get that opportunity to breathe and to stretch into the pose. And then when you're ready, step the right foot forwards in between the hands. Remember, you can come down onto the knee to help you step that foot forwards if you need to. Okay, dropping the hips if you can. Deep breath in to lengthen. Step forwards and fold. Deep breath out. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep and rise to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands together at the heart center. And let's move through that to the second side. Deep breath in, lift. Deep breath out, fold. Let's step the left foot to the back of the mat. Lengthen through both legs, inhaling and exhale. Again, deep breath in, hands to the floor, sweep back, downward facing dog. Here comes that vinyasa. Inhale, ripple through into plank and gently bring your knees, your hips, your chest to the floor, keeping your arms pressing into your side body. Take cobra. Maybe it's a small cobra for your back. Maybe it feels nicer to be a little higher. Just make sure you're not hanging in the shoulders. So roll the shoulders back and then exhale when you're ready into that downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out to settle. Let's step the left foot forwards in between the hands. If it gets stuck, pick it up at the ankle. Take a moment to place it there. Deep breath in. That knee is nicely in alignment with that ankle. Hopefully you can see that. And on your exhale, step forwards. Release. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep and rise. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's move on. This time, bring your feet completely together, zipping up through your thighs. Tailbone is long, belly pulls in. Take an inhale, sweep up and lift. Take an exhale, melt over your legs. Hands to the shins. Take an inhale, send that heart forwards. And on your exhale, step your right foot back and gently bring that knee to the floor. Circle and sweep up through the arms. You're in that low lunge. Heart lifts. Spread through the fingers here. Should feel good to open through the chest, to open through the front of the hip. And then take a deep breath in, connect the hands to the floor and exhale, downward facing dog. Option to take the vinyasa or to stay resting in dog. Inhale, we ripple forwards. Exhale, we lower to the floor. Inhale, lengthen into cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees to look forwards, walk or step. Lift the hands from the floor. Inhale, heart to lift. And exhale, forward folds. Inhale, press through the feet, spread through the toes to rise. Exhale, connect hands to the heart. Second side, deep breath in, sweep, circle the arms, lift the chest, firm up the legs. Exhale, release Uttanasana. Hands to shins, inhale, half lift. Step your left leg back and gently bring knee to floor. Circle the arms, peel the chest up and away from the thigh. Again, just checking your front knee is roughly in alignment with the ankle, just to protect your knee. And then take a moment to check in with the breath. Are you still focusing on the breath? And then we connect hands either side of the foot, pick up the back knee, transition back, downward facing dog. Let's take that ripple forwards into plank. Inhale. And exhale, gently lower to the floor. Inhale, sweep and lift up, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bend the knees to look forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, heart to lift. And exhale, forward fold. Sweep and rise up. Inhale, ground through the feet, lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. Stand tall. Take a moment to notice your body, your energy, how your body really responds through stretching and breathing. Maybe heart rate is elevated a little bit. And let's move into a little bit of a hip opener and a balance as well. See how you go. You can hold a wall if you need to. Let's bend the knees, brush the floor, coming into Utkatasana for a moment. It's like a squat. It's literally as if you're going to perch your seat onto a chair. And then lift your right knee up. Cross your right ankle over the front of that left thigh. It's very similar to the one we did on the floor. And pause in your balance. Here it is from the front. So you could absolutely hold to something, you know, on one side of you if you need to. Top foot is flexed. You're going to feel it as a stretch through your outer hip. And of course, it's strong in your standing leg because you're balancing. See if you can breathe for one more inhale and exhale to gently release and rise. Let that go from the body. Back to where you started. Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's move through that second side. We bend the knees, send the seat back, come into Utkatasana chair. To pick up left ankle, place it on top of right thigh. Push your sit bones back and breathe. Can you take the concentration that's going on waist down and make sure that's, you know, not creeping up as a form or an expression of tension into your upper body. So soften through your upper body. Inhale, exhale. And release, lift up, let go. Let's flow to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, circle and lift. Deep breath out, forward fold, melt. Hands to shins, inhale, lengthen. Step back into plank, exhale. Take a strong inhale, legs are engaged, pushing back into your heels. Lower knees, chest, chin. Try not to collapse through your head. Keep your gaze slightly forwards. Release into cobra, hands underneath the shoulders or a little bit wider if you need to make it a little easier. And transition, downward facing dog. Let it go. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice how the body responds more and more, the more that we repeat these poses, these asana, the more they start to settle into the body. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat and sweep your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Step the right foot in between the hands. Set your front heel in line with your back arch and windmill up and open into triangle pose. Right hand to the shin. Left hip rolls open to stack on top of right hip. Top shoulder stacks on top of bottom shoulder. And of course, you can always modify by bringing that left hand to the waist. Take a deep breath in. Bring your left hand, exhale to touch the inner calf. So you're rounding forwards for a moment. Inhale, open, shoulders stack. Exhale, touch the shin. Inhale, open high. Exhale, touch the shin. This time, inhale, open high, windmill the hands to the floor, pivot to the ball of your back foot and just release that, let it go. Downward facing dog. Recover with an inhale and an exhale. Bring your feet together. Left leg lifts to the sky, inhale. Step the left foot in between the hands, heel to arch alignment. Peel up, start to stack right shoulder on top of left, expand into Trikonasana and pause and breathe. Lengthen your tailbone and angle it towards your back heel rather than sticking out behind you. So tuck your hips under and you'll find that that naturally brings your torso back and expand. Here's that flow. Deep breath in, lift. Deep breath out, right palm to inner left calf or knee. Deep breath in, open. Deep breath out, touch. Deep breath in, open. Feel the stretch also through that left leg. Deep breath out to the back of that left leg. Deep breath in, open triangle. Windmill the hands to the floor. Transition downward facing dog. Let it go. Inhaling. Exhale. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bring your feet together once again. Sweep the right leg to the sky. Inhale. To step the right foot in between the hands and bring your back knee down. Let's rise up into a lovely low lunge. And then from here, pull your hips back and you'll see that now my torso is over the back knee as opposed to easing forwards. So let's back off the lunge. Please feel free to pad up the back knee with a cushion or blanket. Deep breath in, arms lift. Deep breath out, drop your left arm and take a side bend in your lunge. It is a little bit wobbly, so only lean as much as you can to a degree where you still feel you have control and breath. Inhale to rise. Exhale, take your time, feel the other side. Drop your right hand. To come back to center for a moment, touch your hands down. This back knee, windmill it to the side. Now we're completely to the side of our mat and I've extended my right leg out to the side on the sole of that right foot. You're still on that back knee. Deep breath in. We take the side bend with an outstretched leg. Should feel great in the side body. It's a pretty tight area. Reach, reach. To lift up and go the other way. If you need to bring that foot a little closer in, you can. Left hand to the floor and lift, or to a block if the floor feels too far away. From here, push your bottom back in space so that you can almost walk, walk, walk. Turn your body. It's a little bit of fidgeting, I know. To come back to that low lunge, right leg should still be in front here. Take a deep breath in, pull your hips back, lift your toes, come into half splits. You could have hands to blocks or cushions if the floor feels too far away, if that hamstring is super tight. You can also, of course, bend the front knee. And then come back into your lunge. Let's pick up that back knee and transition to downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And then let's take that sequence second side, feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, in between the hands, right knee down. We circle up into the lunge. We pull the hips back. Deep breath in. Take a side bend, drop the left arm. And to center, slow, slow, slow transition. Drop the right arm. Try to keep this knee forward facing. To come to center, touch down, swing your back leg 90 degrees behind you, left leg extends, you should be facing the other way. Let's lift up and reach over the extended leg. Nice deep breaths. And bring right fingertips to floor. Again, maybe bring that extended foot a little closer in towards the hip. To take that transition back to the lunge, so the nicest way for the back is simply that push of bottom back, crawl, crawl, pivot, pivot, back into your lunge. Take a deep breath in and lengthen, half split second side. Feeling that pretty big opening into the back of your front leg. If it feels too much behind the knee, and it can do, if it's the day where that just feels too pinchy for you, you still get a really nice hamstring with this amount of bent knee. And then ease forwards. Well done. Pick up that back knee. Let's transition. Downward facing dog. From here, just walk your hands back to your feet. Find yourself in your forward fold, and then ever so slowly scoop through your belly, tuck your tailbone to protect your lower back, and roll up. And then come to the wide edge of your mat and take your feet far, far, far apart. And ever so slightly turn your toes in and your heels out. Take a deep breath in, lengthen forwards into your forward fold. Again, hands to the floor, hands to blocks or cushions or books, and hands could also be to shins. A nice stretch here into the back of the legs, also into the inner thighs and groin. So your wide-legged forward fold, always a very nice one to do. To come onto fingertips and just lift your upper body halfway. It gives you a little bit more space to make this change. From here, now turn your heels in and your toes out. And then start to bend into your left knee. And that knee is tracking, if you can, over that second toe. It's not buckling in here. Try and get that ease back. And then switch, change. So if this feels way too difficult for you to have hands to the floor, and keep moving, my friends. So keep going, taking a couple of breaths in each one. It's called Skandasana. Side lunge. If it feels too much to have hands to the floor, know that you can take this instead with hands to the thighs and be much further up. This is a much easier version, but essentially it's still exactly the same version. You're still getting that stretch into the extended leg. And of course, you're also getting the stretch into the bent leg as well. So Skandasana, right and left, toes turn out. And particularly with this one, don't come too deep into it. It is working a part of the body, the inner thighs and groin, that we don't open and stretch often. So it's really easy to over pull and it's really easy to tweak. So just be incredibly respectful of your body and really listen to the feedback that the body's giving you. And then from here, come to turn towards your front foot, just as a way to transition to child pose. Knees down, let all of that go. Take another breath. So you make your way up to a seated position and we start to cool down and take some seated stretches. Well done. Hope you're feeling good so far. From here, similar to the position we did at the beginning, we did a cross-legged position at the beginning. Now coming into something same, but different. So right leg over left, and this time instead of crossing the ankles, we're crossing the knees. So one thigh is completely wrapped on top of the other. It's called Gomukhasana, cow face. It's not always accessible for some bodies. If this doesn't feel nice for you, if you feel like your hips are stuck, if you feel like there's too much of a twist into your knee, then your modification is to come back to where you started. You have the cross-legged position with right leg in front of left. Know that that's still a really lovely hip stretch. If your hips are a little bit more open and you would like to have a go at this one, then do. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, lengthen forwards and relax as much as you can. It is a big hip opener. So come back to the breath. Can you find any softness in the body? Are there areas where, because of the tightness, you're clenching? We talked at the beginning about this. When things are tight, we clench, but actually when things are tight, we need to keep letting go and breathing. So is there anywhere in the body you can find a little bit more of a sense of letting go? And just relax through shoulders and upper body. And then let's release and move that to the second side. So unwind. That reminder that just because something felt good on one side doesn't mean it's going to feel good on the other side. So you can explore, you can have a go, and then make your decision as to whether or not to stay with this pose or not. So left leg is on top now. Just diving into this experience of just sitting with the body, trying to release tightness and tension. to lift up, to extend both legs out just for a moment. And then keep your right leg extended. Bend your left knee, sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Take a deep breath in and lengthen forwards. Janu Shirshasana. Maybe you can make the foot, maybe your hands are behind you, just helping yourself to lean forwards. Softening through your right knee, trying not to lock into that knee joint. To lift up and switch change. Left leg extends, sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. A feeling of moving your sit bones back in space. Again, please feel free to sit on a blanket or cushion to make this easier. And lengthen forwards, second side. To lift up, extend both legs out, and then come to make your way onto the back. Take a moment to hug the knees into the chest, and then connect your feet to the floor, hip distance apart. Have a nice long spine, and knees are pointing to the sky. Let's take a nice fluid bridge. Arms start by the side, body palms down. Take an inhale, slowly peel up the hips and take your arms up and overhead. And on your exhale, roll your spine back to the floor and bring your arms back to the side. Again, deep breath in, tuck the pubic bone, lift the hips, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, drop the arms, drop the top ribs, the middle ribs, and the bottom. Again, inhaling, lift up into your back bend, heart lifts high. Exhale, release. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. To gently hug your knees into your chest. And then drop your knees to the right, your hips to the left. Reclined twist, left arm expands. To move to your second side, so scoot your hips to right, knees in and to the left. To come back to center. Hug your knees in one final time. And if you've started to feel your body cool down because you've started to stop, then you can put something warm on your upper body or blankets over yourself. And then when you're ready, come to extend the legs, extend your spine, get comfortable. So take a moment, just flop the legs out, flop the arms out, and then let everything drop into the floor as you take a few moments into Shavasana. Eyes are closed if that's a comfortable place for you to be. And in the absence of movement now, hopefully with clarity, you feel the difference in your body. How just a short amount of time stretching and breathing relieves so much from the body. And how that in turn relieves so much stress also from the mind and heart. How closely mind, body, spirit are interwoven. You release one area and it naturally filters through elsewhere. Take a few more breaths here. And then option, of course, you can be in Shavasana if you have the time for as long as you wish. If you are finishing the practice with me, then begin to open the eyes and stretch the arms overhead. Point and flex through the feet, get as long as you can, open and stretch and lift up through your ribs. And then exhale, let's draw those knees one at a time into the chest. Little sway from side to side, always feels nice into the lower back. And then when you're ready, slowly roll over to one side. You can take a moment there and then gently come to find, once again, any comfortable seated position. Take a moment, little wiggle through the shoulders. Feel that nice posture that you have created. Let's together take an inhale. Gentle exhale. Bring the hands together at the heart center and bow the head in gratitude to your practice and the changes that it brings, the positive intentions that it sets. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much, my friends, for joining on this channel. As always, if you wish to find out a little bit more about what Homes for Lambeth are doing, please go and check their website, homesforlambeth.co.uk. Otherwise, I very much look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.